low vision, or have another print disability which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Welcome to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour is Dasha. We begin with the Amherst Bee. Update on Smallwood Drive Elementary School, given to Board of Education by Joseph Clinard. The Amherst Central School Board of Education received an update on programs and events at Smallwood Drive Elementary. During this month's meeting, a presentation was given to highlight and give updates on Smallwood Drive Elementary School by Principal Rich Crozier and Assistant Principal Kate Marzocchi. To begin the presentation, Crozier mentioned the school district's strategic plan and focused on teachers and how great leaders do things differently. According to research done by educator Todd Whitaker, great leaders focus on people, not programs, model what they expect, treat everyone with respect, empower the best first, negativity ruins culture, and control what they can. This past July, Dr. Whitaker joined our administrative retreat for 2 days, working closely with our administrative team in supporting our growth as leaders, said Crozier. Whitaker's message helped guide how we started the school year and continues to shape our professionalism. Throughout the rest of the presentation, Crozier and Marzocchi focus on teaching and learning, student life, Amherst pride, and facilities and capital construction. Marzocchi touched on instructional leadership in action, which has been a major focus of Smallwood Drive for the 2025-26 school year. In August, the school launched the school year with a building-based opening workshop focused on proactive expectations, student voice, and family engagement, community circles, and start-of-year best practices. Marzocchi then mentioned how the school provides personal development to support students at all levels, including providing additional resources and training with decodable books, Eureka Square implementation, additional development on research-based and effective programming, differentiated lessons, and Wilson and Just Words programs. To close out the presentation, the school-wide theme of See the Good, Be the Good, Spread the Good was put in the spotlight, alongside how students' voices are used to learn what they want to see to improve in the school. According to Marzocchi, the things that the students value most about school are relationships and belonging. Adults matter deeply, play, movement and joy, student voice and choice, and safety and emotional well-being. Additionally, the ways that students want the school to grow include more clubs, interests, and opportunities, expanded play and outdoor spaces, play, movement, and joy, more connection across grades, and continued focus on kindness and well-being. Smallwood Grove Elementary School hopes to use the feedback from their students as well as build engagement with faculty, staff, and parents to create a thriving educational environment. In other news, the board approved various honorarium funds for both the middle school and high school to benefit their music programs. In total, $3,400 was awarded to the middle school and $14,600 was awarded to the high school. The next Board of Education meeting will take place on Tuesday, February 3rd. Williamsville staff is concerned about Learning Lab changes by Amy Wallace. The Williamsville Central School District made changes to its Learning Lab program, which garnered concerns from some students and staff at its January 13th Board of Education meeting. The Learning Lab program allows students to get extra educational support at middle and high school levels during the school day. The Learning Lab was originally developed and funded during the COVID-19 pandemic using American Rescue Act funds. With the original model, students were provided with differentiated individual and small group lessons, supports, and assistance. Learning Lab teachers may deliver push-in or pull-out services. Students may be both assigned and can drop in. Students are primarily recommended by their teacher or counselor based on identified need. Parent feedback and student input are also considered. The Learning Lab teacher works collaboratively with colleagues and other staff to meet student needs. The focus in Learning Lab is skill building, academic, organizational, social, emotional, completion of classroom tasks and assignments, executive functioning. While the model was implemented to provide additional support as part of the COVID plan, communications emphasize that extended continuation of the model will depend on needs and budget priorities as a part of the budget review process. Program monitoring and evaluation are ongoing and are both quantitative and qualitative based on the above information. To discontinue the Learning Lab is essentially gutting a program that serves the needs of the most vulnerable students, Michelle Doviak said. It's a specialized program that serves 350 students per school year. We are a family at South High School. A period-by-period program doesn't serve the needs and will create inequity and result in lower graduation rates and lower core standards. Superintendent Darren Brown Hall said it wasn't true that Learning Labs were being discontinued. I want to correct some misinformation because there seems to be misinformation that Learning Lab support will not continue for the 26-27 school year, and that is false, Brown Hall said. He said the Learning Lab support would continue for 26-27 school year, but it will look different based on what model the district uses. They're piloting a period-by-period model at Williamsville East for the second semester. Learning Labs support will continue, Brown Hall said. A new model, more flexible model, piloting a period-by-period model at East High School for the second semester. Initial funding was through grants during COVID. Funding will be from the general fund this year. Brown Hall said the program costs the districts $800,000. The Learning Lab is essential to kids like me who have different ways of learning, student Gabrielle Baroldi said. It gives kids a different way of learning with one-to-one teaching. It's like telling us kids with a learning disability that they don't matter enough to have a program. Kids should never be treated as an exception. Brown Hall said the period-by-period model will allow students to visit the Learning Lab during their same free period for some consistency. In other business, Brown Hall said that all football teams at all levels will have Guardian caps available in the fall of 2026 and are optional and available at no cost to students. Guardian caps offer an extra layer of protection on football helmets against concussions. In senior news, membership fees for the Amherst Senior Center are $50 for individuals and $75 for couples and households. To register, visit AmherstCenterForSeniorServices.com membership plans or call 716-636-3051. Minute to Win It, 6 p.m. Thursday, January 22nd. This program features quick challenges that test speed, coordination, and creativity. Participants have 60 seconds to complete each task using simple household items. VIA, Visually Impaired Advancement, 11 a.m., Friday, January 23rd. Learn what VIA is and how low vision affects people in different ways. Learn how different diagnoses impact a person's sight, the different devices and the technology that's available to improve independence and functionality. Let's see. Looks like all of this has already gone by, but to let you know what programs there were, there was Susie Lewis Friedman Performance, a singer who performed a cooking demo with the Forsters on Monday, the 26th. And then there was Swoop, 1 p.m. on Monday, a fast-paced card game that keeps everyone on their toes. Emergency Preparedness was also Monday at 5:30. This is a training program. Love Letter Card Game, Tuesday, January 27th. Bridge Basics, Monday through March 30th. No class on January 19th, February 16th, and 23rd. Bridge Reviewing, Bidding, and Card Play, Mondays through February 9th. No class on January 19th. Calligraphy, beginning or advanced, Fridays through February 27th. And knitting through February 5th on Thursdays. Let's see. St. Stephen's Bethlehem UCC, 750 Worley Drive, will host its Super Bowl fundraiser from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday, February 1st at the church. Tickets are $7 for an unlimited amount of soup. A regifting auction will also take place. Call or text 716-632-4226 for tickets. Proceeds benefit the Church Mission Fund and Food Pantry. The Amherst Chamber Ensembles will perform a chamber music concert called Oh So Germanic at 3 p.m. Sunday, February 1st at Trinity United Methodist Church, 711 Niagara Falls Boulevard, just north of Long Meadow. Admission is free. The Ski Club of Lockport presents the 4th annual Ski for a Cure between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Friday, February 13th at the Hollamont Ski Resort, 6921 New York 242, Ellicottville. The event includes an all-day lift ticket, catered lunch by Dina's, a fun-filled day of events, basket raffles, demos by 2 ski shops, and event prizes. Tickets are $125 pre-registration, now through January 31st, and $135 from February 1st to the event day. For information, visit skicluboflockport.com/ski-for-a-cure or email Tom Duran at skiforacure@gmail.com. And the Bistro Bookers will hold its next event at 4 p.m. Tuesday, February 10th at the Amherst Senior Center. Participants must reserve their seat by 3 p.m. on Friday, February 26th by calling 716-636-3051 and providing your name and phone number. If you call to reserve for more than one person, you must provide each person's name and phone number. Suggested donation of $2 a person is greatly appreciated. The donation helps Bistro Bookers to continue to hold these reviews and donate back to our community literacy programs. Your donation helps us to purchase the reviewer's book if necessary and give them a gift for their time. The book being reviewed will be Phantom of Forest Lawn by Robert Brighton, discussed by Jennifer Kovach, Executive Administrative Assistant of Forest Lawn, who was Robert Brighton's research assistant for this book. Turning now to the Clarence Bee. In youth and recreation news, there's a babysitter training course, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Tuesday, February 17th, at the Youth Bureau, 10510 Main Street. Ages 11 through 16 can learn about the business of babysitting, how to care for infants and toddlers, and several first aid skills to be the best, most responsible babysitter you can be. Each student will receive a certificate of completion from Red Cross and a babysitter manual to take home. The cost is $80. Bring lunch and a drink. Home Alone Safety Course for Children, 3 to 4:30 p.m., Tuesday, February 17th at the Youth Bureau. Ages 7 through 13 can learn Home Alone safety principles and safety precautions such as answering the door and phone safety, 911 calls, house safety, fire safety, internet safety, and more, engaging through role-playing and Safety First Jeopardy! Each student will receive a bag of safety resources and a certificate of completion. The cost is $25. Those also interested in taking the basic first aid course should register for the combo class instead, to pay a discounted rate. Basic first aid for children, 4:30 to 6 p.m., Tuesday, February 17th at the Youth Bureau. Ages 7 through 13 can learn basic first aid skills, including scene safety, use of personal protective equipment, treatment of burns, cuts, sprains, breathing emergencies, treatment of bee stings and insect bites, and more. Each student will receive a compact first aid kit and certificate of completion. The cost is $25. Those also interested in taking the Home Alone course should register for the combo class to pay for a discounted rate. In senior news in Clarence, there's going to be a longevity talk about longer, healthier life. 1 p.m., Tuesday, February 3rd. Dr. Aaron Harmon will talk about what longevity is, the challenges it poses, and a practical, evidence-based approach for optimizing health and lifespan. Senior Olympics will have select dates in February. The center will hold a series of fun, easy, lighthearted games for all ability levels in recognition of the Winter Olympics. All are welcome to participate. The game schedule, description, and sign-up sheet will be posted at the center. The Clarence Family Support Center will hold a Winter Wonderland headlamp hike from 5 to 7 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st, at the Clarence Nature Center at 9030 Sheridan Drive. All ages are welcome, and there will be free food and refreshments, candlelit hikes on the trails, a scavenger hunt with prizes, winter-themed activities and crafts, information and resources from local organizations, and fire-roasted s'mores. Headlamps will be provided for those who need them via donations from the Clarence Community Foundation and Clarence Conservation Advisory Council. Any child younger than 14 must be accompanied by an adult. Questions can be directed to the FSC at fsc@clarenceschools.org or 716-407-9244. At the Clarence Public Library, there's going to be a puzzle day from 11 to 2 on Saturday, January 31st. Challenge yourself or your group with a hands-on creativity sprint to tackle a puzzle in one sitting. Pick something doable but ambitious and push through to the finish. No registration is required. The Clarence Rifle Team was firing on all cylinders in Friday's home with over perennial powerhouse Pioneer. The Red Devils totaled one of their best scores ever in a three-position, finishing with 1,154 out of a possible 1,200 points, which was 7 points shy of tying the single-match record of 1,161. Pioneer scored 1,108. It's amazing how my upperclassmen set a great example, Coach Brad Wright said. I asked for some lofty shooting goals at practice sessions. I didn't know how it would work out, but it turned out with great results in our match. It was the best the team has ever done since I've been the coach. The sport requires a lot of focus, Wright continued. We talk about cognitive stacking because there's a lot happening at the same time, like regulating your balance, working on shot placement and trigger control, and monitoring your breath rate. It's easy to overlook that stuff when you're shooting. Their extended focus they put in practice. It paid off in that match. Clarence got huge performance from senior Abby Camara, personal best 290. Senior Haley Jambanco, 289. Junior Evan Walter, personal best 289. And senior Ryan Garver, 286. All were qualifying scores for sectionals on Saturday, February 7th at Orchard Middle School. Walter shot 99 in the prone position and 98 in the kneeling position. 8th grader Michael Strait added a personal best 266. Clarence hosts Lancaster at 5:30 on Tuesday, January 27th. The American Legion Post, 838, is accepting applications for a scholarship. Its annual $1,000 scholarship awarded each year to a college-bound Clarence High School senior. The recipient of the scholarship will be chosen based on completion of the scholarship application and submission of an original 450 to 500-word essay. This year's essay topic is, in your opinion, how does AI influence American democracy, and what can or should be done about that influence? A special committee of Legion Post 838 members will select the scholarship winner based on a blind reading of the essays, meaning they won't know anything about the essay's authors. The winner will be determined by the Post without regard to gender, race, or religious preference. See Kathy Lorenz in the CHS office for an application form. The completed form and essay must either be postmarked by March 23rd or delivered to the office by March 25th. Questions can be addressed to Jim Schultz at 716-812-0405. An art exhibit features Clarence Lancaster students at Brothers of Mercy's Montalbor Heights Gallery. The work of 23 Clarence and Lancaster high schoolers is on display in Fostering Innovation Through Design, an exhibit running through March 31st at the Art Gallery at Montalbor Heights, 4530 Ransom Road. A community opening reception will recognize the students, artists, and their teachers from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Thursday, February 5th. The gallery is open from 11 to 3 daily, and visitors can also reserve lunch for their visit by calling 716-407-5102 in advance. The exhibit was curated by retired art teacher Nancy Clark Mariani and inspired by a collection of interior design examples she prepared for the students. Using any media and objects of their choice, students created original compositions that encouraged experimentation, refinement of ideas, and creative expression. The students' artwork will be judged by Russell Ram, longtime regional artist and member of the Brothers of Mercy Art Gallery Committee. The Art Gallery Committee is thrilled to introduce this special winter exhibit, which our first school district partnership to the greater community, said Mary Jo Ketchum, chairperson of the Brothers of Mercy Art Gallery Committee. The quality of work from these 23 students is very impressive and illustrates the immense talent that our students possess as aspiring artists. We invite the art lovers, campus residents, and community members to visit the exhibit for an appreciation of the students' creativity and vision. Since opening in February 2024, the Art Gallery at Montebar Heights has exhibited the works of regional artists to enrich understanding of culture, history, beauty, and creativity, and invite viewers to see the world through artists' eyes, to enjoy, empathize, understand, and wonder. For more information, email info@brothersofmercy.org or visit brothersofmercy.org/artgallery. In the Cheektowaga, Schludzinski helped secure more money for local libraries. New York Assemblyman Patrick Schludzinski helped secure $60,000 to support programs and operations at the Julia Boyer Reinstein Library, Anna Reinstein Memorial Library, and Lancaster Public Library. Schludzinski is reinforcing his efforts to support local libraries, as last month he helped secure $298,099 in state investments to support critical construction and infrastructure improvements at the Anna Reinstein Memorial Library. To read about the upgrades the library will make, you can visit a website, which we will read to you if you need. Call the office. The new $60,000 will be split evenly among the three libraries. Our libraries are vital institutions in our communities that ensure access to important information, technology, and educational resources, and I am extremely pleased to have been able to secure this vital support, said Schludzinski. This money will enable the Lancaster and Cheektowaga libraries to more effectively fulfill their potential as public spaces that support literacy, promote civic engagement, and offer welcoming places where people can connect, study, and learn. Schludzinski, who is the ranking minority member of the Library and Education Technology Committee, said the allocation was obtained as part of the 2025 to 26 state budget process, and the funding is administered through the Department of Education. On behalf of everyone at the Reinstein Libraries, we want to thank Assemblyman Schludzinski for this funding that will continue our mission to enrich, educate, and inspire the residents of Cheektowaga through library service, said Dan Caulfield, the Cheektowaga Library Director. Thanks to his leadership in securing this bullet aid, we will expand and update needed collections and programs, improve our technology training, and enhance our buildings infrastructure. With support like this, the library will continue to be a cornerstone for learning and discovery in our community. We thank Assemblyman Patrick Schludzinski for securing this money for the Lancaster Public Library, said Kara Stock, the Lancaster Library Director. This funding will allow the library to update collections, equipment, and technology to better serve the needs of our community. We are truly grateful for the support of Assemblyman Schludzinski and his recognition of the importance of libraries. One of the greatest benefits of the funding is the lack of restrictions on its use. Dollars can be allocated to purchase books, equipment, and technology, cover capital expenses, or staffing and personnel needs. The flexibility of the bullet aid funding is one of its greatest advantages, said Schludzinski. Our local libraries are the most familiar with what needs are most pressing and how best these monies should be spent. Far better, they should have the freedom to allocate them accordingly, instead of being dictated to by bureaucrats in Albany. Dare to Repair Cafe brings free community fix-it event to Lancaster. Area residents are invited to Dare to Repair Cafe. Fix it, don't ditch it. from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, March 7th at the Lancaster Municipal Building at 5423 Broadway. The free event encourages people to bring broken household items and learn how to repair them with help from volunteer fixers. Participants can bring a wide range of items, including small appliances, lamps, electronics, toys, clothing, bikes, and more, with the goal of keeping usable goods out of landfills and saving money on replacements. Community repair coaches will work alongside attendees, teaching basic repair skills and empowering residents to troubleshoot future fixes on their own. Dare to Repair Cafe is presented in partnership with the Tool Library and local community organizations, highlighting the value of sharing skill and resources. Events are family-friendly and walk-ins are welcome, though advanced registration is encouraged. To register or learn about what items can be brought for repair, visit thetoolllibrary.org/dare to repair. St. Stephen's Bethlehem UCC at 750 Worley Drive in Cheektowaga will host a Super Bowl fundraiser. This event from 11:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sunday, February 1st. The cost is $7 for unlimited soup. A regifting auction will also take place. Call or text 716-632-4226 for tickets. Proceeds will benefit the church's mission fund and food pantry. Upcoming meetings in Cheektowaga. Let's see, we have on February 4th at 7 p.m. the Veterans Affairs Committee. On February 10th at 5:30, regular board meeting. February 11th, Wednesday, 6 p.m., Conservation Advisory Council. And on February 12th at Thursday at 7 p.m., Planning Board meeting. Traffic Safety will meet on the 17th at 7 p.m. Zoning Board of Appeals, Wednesday, February 18th at 7 p.m. Another regular board meeting, Tuesday, February 24th at 5:30, and another Environmental Advisory Committee meeting, 2 p.m. Wednesday, February 25th. A reminder that all state DMV offices will temporarily close in February, all across the state, 2 p.m. Friday, February 13th through Wednesday, February 18th, because they'll be installing a new technology system. So anything you need to do there, do not go between February 13th and February 18th. Thinking ahead to warm weather, remember that Buffalo will have School of Rock North 2026 camps. If you're ready to learn how to play in a band or write songs, School of Rock offers a variety of music camps and workshops that cover these topics and more. From 5-year-olds to adults, beginner, intermediate, or advanced sessions, local camps and workshops are perfect for everyone. Spring break, April 6th to 10th, will be Rock 101 for 7 to 12-year-olds. And then in the summer, programs for everyone. Camps are filling up. Check it out. Sign up today, schoolofrock.com/locations/North Buffalo/music camps. Another thing to think about for summer is the Dunkirk Camp and Conference Center. DCC overlooks Lake Erie. Adult and family retreats are the perfect getaway. There's a women's weekend in June 5th to 7th. Fun After 50, June 15 to 19. Camp Good Old Days, June 19th to 21st, where you can feel like a kid again. A clergy retreat on August 17th to 20th. And then youth camps running from June 28th weekly through August 9th to 15th. Different age levels, Pioneer Camp, Pilgrim Camp, Soccer Camp. Check it out, www.dunkirkcc.com. Turning now to the Lancaster Depew Bee. Town Board presses solar company for more product information, considers revoking special use permit by James Sinner. The Town of Lancaster Board held their regular meeting Tuesday night, taking questions from Ari Goldberg, the attorney representing AC Power 14, a solar energy development company seeking approval for renewal of a special use permit at 53 Gunville Road. The questions came during a public hearing on the topic of revoking that special use permit. Goldberg called the move, quote, a kick in the pants for AC Power to share more information about their operations and product per the town's conditions for receiving a permit. He added it had been successful and the company was now more invested in communicating information with the town. Looking at the 2023 renewal application, the only condition, I think, is you haven't received copies of where the panels were assembled, Goldberg said. Again, we'd like to open up the lines of communication. Talk to us. Tell us what conditions are at issue. Bob Leary, who helped author some of the conditions for special use permits in recent years, stated that the town can't really tell where this company is from or where their product is made. We need to find that out. There needs to be an inspection of where the solar panels come from, he said. Leary added that there was confusion over the company's location in the U.S., which Goldberg said had shifted from Colorado to Texas. Leary added that AC Power 14 is part of a larger conglomerate, which he hoped to understand at a deeper level before approving a permit. It would be helpful to see what ownership is because Catalyze is a huge company, he said. It'd be nice to see the whole history of this thing. Goldberg was instructed to communicate further with the town about resolving the need for transparent communication and product information. In other town development news, Goldberg represented a different company, 4839 Transit, LLC, who is working through the process of having a Chipotle built on Transit Road. It's a Chipotle with a drive-through, but it's not a traditional drive-through window like a Tim Hortons, Goldberg said. You place the order in advance on your phone, and when your order is ready, you can then proceed to the 7-car queue lane. If you go through that line and your order is not ready, you go to one of the parking spots on site and wait for your order to be ready. In total, Goldberg said there'll be 23 parking spots and plenty of room for when larger vehicles like garbage trucks are on the property. The town board also considered the idea of joining with the county clerk's office in identifying tax-delinquent zombie properties. I've worked successfully with the task force to assist in the mortgage zombie properties and got some really positive results, said Code Enforcement Office Matt Fiscione. I think the campaign is more about backing the county clerk's office and reducing the interest on the late taxes that the county imposes on the property owners just so they can get out of that debt. Compounding interest is never good for anybody. Fiscione said it doesn't appear to be a huge issue impacting Lancaster, but getting involved certainly couldn't help. It's a presentation to the board to explain what the initiative is for the task force and to try to partner in identifying those severely deficient properties. Focus, for our community unity and support, will host a community meat raffle fundraiser Saturday, March 21st at the Depew Community Center at 570 Gould Avenue. Doors will open at 5 p.m. with the first spin at 6 p.m. Pre-sale tickets are $15 and include beer, wine, and soda. Tickets will be $20 at the door, though organizers know the event may sell out. Tables of 10 are available for $130 for groups who want to reserve seating together. In addition to the meat raffle, the evening will feature a basket raffle, 50-50 and auction paddle raffle. Attendees are encouraged to bring their friends, family, and snacks, no outside alcohol, as well as a cooler for any winnings and plenty of singles for the raffles. Proceeds from the event will support Focus and its ongoing efforts to strengthen community unity and provide support to local families and neighbors. For more details or to reserve tickets, call 716-444-6769 or visit 4ourcommunitytoday.org. In Be Heard, Langworthy's commercial about the Energy Choice Act is very misleading. It doesn't tell the whole story, and to see the Depew Village Board supporting him is very concerning. Langworthy also supports ICE. Why is the Depew Board supporting these people? I volunteer for a senior center, and I feel so bad for these seniors that actually get very little Social Security. The cost of living adjustment they got is so very little that people on unemployment now are getting twice as much as they're getting in their Social Security. Why can't they give these people a break and give them a better raise under that cost of living adjustment they've given them, which means nothing, which is 2.7%, doesn't even cover their utility bills. Why doesn't somebody help seniors and forget about giving money away to other countries? A Care and Share Center has opened in Depew. The Depew Community Center, located at 570 Gould Avenue, has opened its Care and Share Corner in the Depew Community Laundry. The newly renovated space will provide personal care items, diapers, household cleaning supplies, and over-the-counter medications to Depew residents. All items in the Care and Share Corner are donated by individuals and businesses, available at no cost to those in need. Donations of needed items is always welcome. To view the hours of operation, check out the DCC online at www.dpewcommunitycenter.org. Patrick Gallivan says constituents have provided valuable input in a recent survey. To best represent the residents of the 60th New York State Senate District, it's important that I hear directly from constituents. Residents often share their thoughts through phone calls, emails, and letters to our office or in person at community events. I also find surveys useful. Back in November, my office sent questionnaires to all households in the district, asking residents to share their thoughts by mail or through our website. The survey, while not scientific, provides a snapshot of where residents stand on some important state issues. As promised, here are the results. Asked about the state's new bell-to-bell ban on the use of cell phones during the school day, an overwhelming 87% of respondents support it. 7% disagree with the policy, 6% were undecided. While some raised concerns about phone access during an emergency, many parents and teachers offered favorable reviews. Several questions dealt with energy policy and the use of alternative energy sources. The state's requirement that most newly constructed buildings be fully powered by electricity starting this year is currently on hold. And the survey shows little support for the idea. 86% of respondents oppose the effort, while just 8% support it. The rest are undecided. In comments, many residents raised concerns about cost, reliability, and the loss of choice in how they heat their homes. Asked whether the state should construct a new nuclear power plant in the upstate region, 44% said yes, 32% said no, and 24% were undecided. Some said they needed to know where the facility would be located before deciding. A third question asked about proposed legislation that would allow offshore wind turbines in Lake Erie. The answer was no from 60% of the respondents. Another 29% said yes, and 11% said they were unsure. The results are almost identical to what we found in 2023. Once again this year, we wanted to know what residents thought of a proposed single-payer, government-run health insurance plan in New York. The results show most, 52%, do not support it. 27% like the idea, and 21% are undecided. The results are also similar to what we found in 2 previous questionnaires. We asked about work requirements for able-bodied Medicaid recipients. 80% support the idea, 10% do not, and the rest are undecided. Finally, we asked about 2 election-related issues. A slim majority of respondents, 51%, do not support the use of vote-by-mail ballots. 44% like mail-in ballots, and just 5% are undecided. Results were also mixed on whether to support a constitutional amendment to allow New York to redraw congressional districts more than once every 10 years. The survey found 46% opposed, 29% in favor, and 25% undecided. Again, while not scientific, the results give me a sense of how residents feel about these critical issues and help me to advocate on your behalf. I'm grateful to everyone who responded and truly honored to serve as your voice in Albany. Depew Indoor Track sets records, best times at Varsity Select Meet. It was another strong meet for the Depew boys and girls indoor track and field teams at Saturday's Varsity Select Meet at Houghton University. Sophomore Anila Spain set the sophomore school record in the girls' 55-meter dash, running a time of 7.39 seconds. The mark was her best time of the season and earned her first place overall out of 75 competitors. Freshman Marcus McCarter reset the Depew freshman record in the boys' long jump with a personal best leap of 18 feet, 1.5 inches. Senior Cameron Cristiano competed in the high jump for the first time this season and cleared 5'8", a personal best that qualified him for sectionals and placed him number 6 all-time in Depew history. Cristiano also placed third overall in the boys' triple jump with a mark of 41 and 9 3/4 inches. Junior Zachary Breidenbaker placed second out of 38 in the boys' triple jump in 43.1. Freshman Lexi Breidenbaker continued her strong season in the hurdles, setting a new personal best of 10.37 in the 55 hurdles. Junior Bailey Wachowiak ran a personal best of 10.80 in the 55 hurdles. Sophomore Julian Gavin tied his personal best in the 55 hurdles, finishing at 10.82. Junior Madison Jaskier ran a personal best of 45.58 in the 300 dash and followed it up with a personal best split of 27.9 in her leg of the girls' 4x200 relay. Freshman Noordeep Kaur ran a personal best in the girls' 600 of 2 minutes, 16 seconds, and 32 milliseconds. 8th grader Lena Obermeyer set personal records in the girls' 1,000 and a 1.18.1 split in her leg of the girls' 4x400 relay. Senior Zachary Fellinger ran a personal best in the boys' 1,000 and followed it up with a personal best split time in his leg of the boys' 4x800. Sophomore Alex Topor ran a personal best in the boys' 1,600 and also tied his lifetime best with a split in the boys' 4x800 relay. Junior Macy Malecki set a new personal best in the girls' shot put, placing second overall out of 59 competitors. Junior Luis Ayala ran a personal best split in the boys' 4x400 relay and came back later to set a personal record in the long jump. Sophomore Ronaldo Haynes ran a personal best split time in the boys' 4x200 relay. Sophomore Douglas White also ran a personal record in the 4x200 relay. Sophomore Natalia Krakowiak had a huge breakthrough in the girls' 4x400 relay with a personal best split time, and the girls' 4x200 relay of Ramia Vance, Jordan Cleveland, Jaskier, and Spain placed second out of 26 teams in a season best time. I am leaving out the times because I don't know how to read them properly. Depew bowling teams remain unbeaten and improved to 7-0. Depew's boys and girls bowling teams improved to 7-0 after recording wins last week over Cleveland Hill on January 13th at Broadway Sports Center and Tonawanda on January 14th at Tonawanda Bowling Center. Depew's boys teams won total pins against Cleveland Hill, 3,701 to 2,708. Caleb Lorafich paced with the Wildcats A team with a 280 to 715 series. Elijah Shute was not far behind, and Ryan Sobiraski added a 234 to 643 series. Kyle Slavinsky placed the B team with a 255 to 644 series. Thomas Nagy 215 to 587, and Blake Slavinsky 414 series also contributed. Depew won total pins against Tonawanda to 3,691 to 3,047. The Wildcats A team was consistent with Laura Fiche, 247 to 687, Sobrashki, 249 to 678, and Shute with 277 to 666 series. Kyle Slavinsky led the B team with 210 to 641 series. Blake Slavinsky 179 to 513 series, and Nagy 200 to 506 series also contributed. The Depew girls dominated Cleveland Hill, winning total pins 3,006 to 2,032. Amelia Slavinsky led the A team with a 232 to 627 series. Also contributing were Madison Nagel 198 599 series, and Zoe Farron 245 to 530 series. McKenna Groff led the B team with 165 to 460 167 series, Emily Leach, 162, 439 series, and Brianna Lorafice, 166, 384 series, also contributed. Depew won total pins against Tonawanda, 2,976 to 2,330. Slavinsky paced the A-team with 244 to 687 series, Emma Felton, 190, 510 series, and Nigel, 168, 496, also contributed. Farron led the B team with a 204 to 501 series. Depew bowls Cheektowaga at 3:45 p.m. on Thursday at Airport Lanes and Alden at 4 p.m. on Friday at Broadway Sports Center. Again, I apologize for pronunciations or scoring mishaps. Lancer Boys Hoops records first win over St. Joe's since 2018 by Patrick Nagy. The St. Mary of Lancaster's boys basketball team picked up a huge 65 to 56 home win over St. Joe's on January 13th. At the time, the Marauders were the number one ranked team in Western New York large schools. It was also St. Mary's first win over St. Joe's since 2018. The Lancers never trailed on their way to victory, scoring the first 7 points of the game and leading by 13 at halftime. "We played hard, were physical, and made some big shots," St. Mary's coach Frank Proppas said. "We kept trying to pull away and did not fall apart when they made their big push." Blake Kempa tallied 22 points, including 6 of 10 from three-point range and 3 assists. Will Sabluski added 15 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Israel Wilson chipped in 11 points and 10 rebounds. Thomas Frazier chipped in 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Probus said Matt Tulshi did a good job defensively, limiting St. Joe's guards. St. Mary's then lost Friday's home game to Nichols, 62 to 48. The Lancers were up by 3 at halftime, and Nichols went on a 12-0 run at the end of the third quarter to go up by 7, heading into the fourth quarter. St. Mary's cut its deficit to 4 with 4 minutes remaining, but couldn't climb back any further. They had a good plan for us and defended us in a way that nobody else has, Propus said. "I think they knew what we were trying to do because we faced them in the playoffs last year, so they were ready for us. I think they shot 9 of 20 on their three-pointers. They definitely wanted it more than us." Kempa tallied 17 points and 4 rebounds. Sabluski tallied his 8th double-double of the season with 11 points and 12 rebounds to go along with 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block that led to a dunk at the other end. Tulsi defended Nichols' top player Trey Palfrey well in the first half and held him to 7 points. Palfrey finished with 21 points. St. Mary's, 10-4 overall, 4-2 in Monsignor Martin, traveled to Nichols on Wednesday, but further information was unavailable before the B went to press. The Lancers host St. Francis, 7 p.m. on Friday. The Lancaster Public Library is open from 10 to 6 Monday, 10 to 9 Tuesday through Thursday, 10 to 5 on Friday and Saturday, and noon to 5 on Sunday. Registration is required for all programs. Space is limited. Register online at buffalolib.local.com. Call 716-683-1120 if you want to do it by phone. There is a Take and Make Crafts beginning Thursday, January 1st. Stop in. Oh, that was January 1st. Forget that. We'll go ahead to what we've got coming up. And there is nothing. Okay, we have the Winter Reading Raffle with 4 big prizes, which start on December 1st but doesn't end until the February 20th. So kids 12 and under receive 1 raffle ticket for every 5 print books checked out. Teens 13 to 17 get 1 raffle ticket for every 3 print books checked out. And there's a reading log challenge that runs through February 20th. You can pick up a winter reading log for children and hand it in when finished for a prize. And finally, in this hour, looking at the Kenton Bee. A couple of big stories in retirement news. Town of Tonawanda Police Chief announces retirement plans. Town of Tonawanda Police Chief James Stauffacher stated on January 12th he will retire on February 19th. He called his service as chief one of the greatest honors of his life. First hired as a police officer for the town on February 2nd, 1995, Chief Stauffacher rose through the ranks, becoming chief on October 7th, 2019. During his tenure as chief, Stauffacher led the department through the COVID-19 pandemic and police reform efforts mandated by New York State. Working collaboratively with the community, the town board, and our officers, we developed and implemented our police reform and reinvention collaborative plan in 2021, Stauffacher said. These experiences strengthened our relationship with the community and reinforced our commitment to transparency, accountability, and progressive policing practices. The chief said he's especially proud of the upcoming launch of the Town of Tonawanda Ambulance Corps, which is expected to go into service later this month. This initiative, developed in partnership with Supervisor Joseph Eminger and Paramedic Supervisor Matt DeRose, will enhance emergency medical services for our community for years to come. The former U.S. Marine thanked the town board for its support and commitment to public safety and for providing the police department with the necessary resources to serve the community. Chief Stauffacher served his community with distinction over the past 31 years, and in particular over the past 6.5 years as the chief of police, said Town Supervisor Joseph Eminger. When the town board appointed him in 2019, we could not have appointed a better person to lead the department. He faced many challenges during his time as chief, but he never lost sight of his primary job, to serve and protect the residents and business owners of the town. In his retirement letter, he wrote, "To the men and women of the Town of Tonawanda Police Department, it has been my privilege to serve with you. Your professionalism, dedication, and compassion for the people of this town inspire me every day. I am confident that you will continue to serve this community with the same excellence and integrity that have defined this department." But the City of Tonawanda Police Chief also is retiring after a 40-year career. By Rachel Ross. Chief Robert Clontz of the City of Tonawanda Police Department retired January 2nd after nearly 40 years of service, leaving in his wake a lasting legacy of dedication, innovation, and leadership. I've had a very fulfilling 36 years on the job, established a lot of memories with retirees, past officers I've worked with, as well as current officers, Clontz said. I have no regrets. I've basically done everything within the department that I could have hoped for, and I've had a very outstanding career. Clontz was hired by the department as a patrol officer in 1989, serving on the auxiliary team for several years prior. One of my buddies was interested in becoming a police officer, so that kind of piqued my interest. I'd never thought of it prior to that, Clontz said. I knew a couple of the officers on the City of Tonawanda Police Department, and they suggested trying to become an auxiliary police officer because at least I'd get a general idea of what the field is about. Following, Clontz served as a field training officer, helping new recruits from the police academy become acclimated with their positions. As time went on, Clontz continued to rise the ranks, being promoted to narcotics detective, followed by patrol lieutenant and detective lieutenant, and finally chief of police in 2023. Throughout that time, Clontz gained a number of special certifications, including firearms instructor and taser instructor. Clontz also played a pivotal role in the establishment of the North Tonawanda SWAT team, which he served on for nearly 20 years, with 12 years as team leader. Looking to the future, Clontz plans to utilize his experience volunteering for the Niagara Frontier Search and Rescue Unit. They do an outstanding job, Clontz said. I figured in my retirement time that would be enjoyable and I can continue to serve society in a different capacity. Currently, Detective Captain Jamin Butcher is holding the position of acting chief, while Mayor William Strasburg determines a permanent successor. Clontz said the biggest piece of advice he would give to the next chief is to always make sure the department's officers are taken care of and have the resources they need to thrive in their duties. If we protect the protectors, they're going to be able to protect our civilians, Clontz said. We equip them appropriately, then they'll be able to do their job appropriately, and that's where we're going to have more effective officers. The key is always to keep them at number one, because a good leader is only as good as the men that they lead. Clance thanked the department's officers for their continued commitment throughout his time as chief. I absolutely appreciate the officers that we have on the department right now. They've done a very efficient and proactive job while I've been chief, and I couldn't be prouder of them. More information about the Niagara Frontier Search and Rescue Unit can be found on their website, nfsar.org. Shays will be holding Western New York Unified College auditions. Shays Performing Arts Center will host the Unified College auditions 10 a.m. Saturday, January 31st at Shays Performing Arts Center Rehearsal Halls, 654 Main Street in Buffalo. Through this event, high school and college transfer students can audition for several local colleges and universities with theater and musical theater programs at one time and location. Participating schools include Alfred University, Buffalo State University, Niagara University, SUNY Fredonia's, SUNY Niagara, and the University at Buffalo. The auditions are organized by Shays Arts Engagement and Education Department. Registration is required, and there's a $25 fee to audition. To sign up, go to www.shays.org. Western New York Unified College auditions. Buffalo Stallions announced 2026 tryouts. The Buffalo Stallions are set to build on the momentum of their successful inaugural 2025 NPSL season with the announcement of open tryouts for the 2026 campaign. The Stallions invite all local soccer talent to attend the tryout session. Players must be 18 years of age or older to participate. Tryouts will be held at the Sportsplex, located at 90 Ridge Road in North Tonawanda. The next scheduled date is February 15th from 10 to 11:30 p.m. Probably 10 a.m. to 11. Really? Sign-in begins at 9:30 p.m. Okay, p.m. Media members are encouraged to attend. For additional information, media inquiries can be directed to Director of Operations Jeff Horner at jeff@buffalostallions.org. North Tonawanda girls hoops win 5 straight. The North Tonawanda Lady Lumberjacks continued their strong stretch of play, earning 2 wins to extend their winning streak to 5 games and to improve 6-2 on the season. Annabelle Day had a stellar night. Lily Day added 19 points. Maddie Carone finished with 15 points. Tequila Brown contributed 9 points. Addison D'Andrea chipped in 4 rebounds, and Gabriella Cation grabbed 3 boards of her own. They followed up with a 69-66 road win over Hornell, January 17th. Lily Day led all scorers of 26 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds. Cashin recorded 18 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. Annabelle Day posted 8 points, 9 assists, and 10 rebounds, while Caron added 9 points, 1 assist, and 1 steal. D'Andrea finished with 8 points and 5 rebounds, helping North Tonawanda secure its 5th straight victory. You have been listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. The time is 58 and a half minutes after the hour. Stay tuned for our second hour. Your reader for this hour has been Dasha. Apologies for any mistakes. Thank you for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have a reading of our Southtowns papers, including Orchard Park, Hamburg, East Aurora, and West Seneca's B papers or Suns. At 3 o'clock, we have the Ample Eagle, and at 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. Stay tuned for these readings and more throughout the day, and contact us if you have comments, suggestions, or questions. You're listening to the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Volunteer radio readers broadcast daily readings, 24 hours a day, of newspapers, magazines, books, and other printed matter to area people who are blind or have a print disability, who are provided reading radios. The Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service has broadcast almost 40 years of radio readings to those without sight. Our broadcast signal is provided at no charge by WNED. Radio Reading Studios are at 1199 Harlem Road in Cheektowaga. For more information on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, call 716. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision,